Hello, in today's video, I'm writing a Task 1 report regarding a bar chart. This is a pretty easy one, so let's see if you can achieve a band 9 for this question. So the report is about the percentage of unemployment of young people in 2005 in 5 countries. Let's begin right away by planning the report. As usual, we'll have the introduction, the overview, and body paragraphs. For questions like this, a method I use to figure out how to divide the data into paragraphs is that I separate by the categories that have fewer components. For example, in this question, they give us two kinds of categories. One is the countries, and the other is for the age group. For the country, there are 5 of them, and for the age group, there are only 2. So I'm gonna use this category for the logic of separating data, which I'll have one body for the 15 to 20-year-olds and another for the overall unemployment. For the overview, I'll write about 2 highlights of the graph. In particular, I'll make 2 comparisons for each category here. One comparison between the given countries, and a comparison between the age group For the age group, I noticed that the unemployment rate of the younger people was always higher than the total rate in all of the countries here. And for the countries, I see that Poland had the highest percentage in both age groups. And also, Denmark had the lowest in both groups. Moving on to body paragraphs, it's better to report data from the highest to lowest. So let's firstly list out the countries in descending order. For body 2, I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay, so that's my draft. Let's go ahead and write the actual report. For the introduction, just list out these details and you're done. The first thing is the units of the graph, then the subjects that it shows, followed by locations and the time. The unit here is the percentage of unemployment. The question says the chart, so I'm going to paraphrase into bar graph. Subjects are 15 to 24-year-olds and overall. And then the location and time. Now for the overview. The unemployment rate of the young cohort was higher than the overall percentage for all given countries. Additionally, Poland recorded the highest proportion for both categories, whereas Denmark experienced the lowest. Okay, so that's our introduction and overview. Let's move to the first body paragraph. Never forget to write a topic sentence for each paragraph. This phrase will introduce the data that you'll be covering in that particular paragraph. So in terms of individuals aged 15 to 24. Oops. I'm not gonna just list the data, that would be boring. What I've tried to do is to combine several data into one sentence and somehow make them relevant to one another. In other words, I'm going to make some comparisons. So I'll group these 3 countries into one sentence and these 2 into one sentence. Firstly, Poland. Approximately 36% of people from this age bracket in Poland were jobless. And then I'll make a comparison between Poland and these 2 countries, which Poland was significantly higher than. Italy and Hungary at roughly 23% and around 16%, respectively. And never forget about language of approximation. Approximately, roughly, around. If the data is not exactly placed on the line, then you'll have to use language of approximation. Now for these 2, I'll just simply use the while structure. Moreover, the unemployment rate of youngsters in Germany was nearly 15%. While the unemployment rate of youngsters in Denmark was the lowest result. Use superlative comparison where possible, at about 7%. You can see this phrase appears twice in the sentence. When making comparison like this, you can use that of to reduce repetition. Turning to the overall unemployment rate. First of all, I'm gonna group these two countries together. Poland documented a national rate of precisely 15%. Followed by Germany at 10%. In reports that exhibit percentage, sometimes you want to show off to the examiner that you can also paraphrase percentage points. For example, instead of 10%, you can say 1/10. Also remember to use linking words once in a while. We can see that Italy and Hungary are almost equal. So I'm going to say Italy and Hungary exhibited comparable percentage point of around 7%. Another way that you can report the data without explicitly write down the percentage is to say that something is double something else or half of something else. Here we see that 7% is about double of 3%, so I'll say, which was about double that of Denmark. So the report is done. Let's format and send to the examiner. Again, if you want to leave the overview as an independent paragraph, that's fine. I just don't like it. I'm gonna incorporate it into the introduction. Okay, let's send it. Okay, so the examiner has marked my report. Let's see if I got a band 9 for this question. He said I should use referencing here. So I still cannot get a band 9 for this question because there were still some issues with my report. Okay, I'll give it another try next time. If you have any task 1 or task 2 question, please leave it in the comments section and I'll make a video about it. Thank you. Hope this helps and see you again in the next video.